Oppa Gundam style. Welcome back to WoW, Cool Robot, a Gundam podcast, and we're talking about Gundam Build Fighters, episodes 1 through 3. I am Dan.
I'm Yuria.
And I'm Max, and my voice cracked, but I'm fine, actually. Gunpla is freedom. This show kicks ass. I love it. I love it so much. This show is... it warms my heart. It's
Finally,
good.
A sports anime we can get behind.
A sports...
Yeah!
It kinda is a sports anime. It's a sports anime for the sport of playing with Gundam in a game that doesn't actually exist, but frankly should if it were possible.
If this existed... Like, I already buy too many model kits as it is.
Mm-hmm.
If, like, Gunpla Battle existed, no one would ever hear from me again. Like, I would join the Gunpla Pro circuit or, like, get turned into Plavsky particles trying. It is absolutely delightful. This show makes an incredible first impression. Oh, I love it. I love it. I think we just got to get into it. I'm itching to talk about this shit.
Hell yeah.
And Yuria, I believe you have the summary for the first episode this week.
I do. Alright, so episode 1 has a cold opening, as you do, and it's in space like a Star Wars. There's an exciting battle taking place with Zaku's out there. And then we have our hero, Sayori, deploying the Build Strike, a customized Strike Gundam. And just as he's about to clash with these menacing Zaku's, his dad calls him and says that his Gundam's arm is about to pop off, and it pops off like an actual Gunpla, and then he gets blown off. But turns out to be a dream. So, Sayori is the son of a couple of Gunpla enthusiasts. His mom owns the... what was the name of the store? Is Iori something?
I think it's just Iori Models.
Iori Models, yes. Yep, and his dad is a renowned Gunpla fighter, who we eventually find out pilots an RX-78, the OG Gundam. None of this customized stuff, he just goes for the raw prototype.
He just goes grandpa mode.
So, we get a shot of a redhead kid who is climbing buildings he shouldn't be, and he has sunglasses like a Char, or, well, Quattro. So we get back to Say, he is, trying to sell a kid and his dad on some kit, well, specifically the Wing Gundam. We get a nice show at that. And then we get this weird-ass bob haircut kid named Sasaki. And he decides to humiliate Sei in front of them by challenging him to a Gunpla fight. He's using the Gien, which I find delightful. The Gien is a suit in the original series that, kind of sucks. Specifically, it was in a bidding war sort of deal in Zeon during the final parts of the 1 Year War, and it lost to the Gelgoog. So Sasaki just trounces him with it, just absolutely devastates him. And then it's like, hey, since you suck at piloting, how about I pilot for you? We can team up. It's what a weird ass kid. So Sei goes out for a walk because, he can't pilot. He sucks at it, and all these displays are showing Gunpla battles, which makes it even more distressed. And then he runs into the redhead kid, who we find out is named Reggie, and he is eating food that he apparently accidentally stole. Sei pays back for the meal and even buys some soda. Reggie takes this as owing Sei a favor. So he gives him a stone, and he says, wish upon it, and I will appear. Sei is understandably weirded out by this. He goes back to the store. He finishes the Build Strike, because that was actually his project he was working on, which is why he was dreaming of it. And as he's discussing the weapon systems that he might put on it with his mom, Sasaki comes back in, and he just won't leave him alone. So Sei challenges him. If he loses, then he will concede piloting to Sasaki. So now it's the Gien again versus the Build Strike, and despite the Build Strike having better capabilities, it kind of But Sei doesn't want to give up. He inadvertently makes a wish. Reggie just fucking beams in and starts piloting it. And my favorite part here is when Sasaki just loses it. He is heartbroken that Sei would let this sudden new kid pilot it when he's the one that's been nagging Sei this entire time. It's just great. But, yeah. Oh, right. And it's being refereed by Mr. Wall. It's Rombo Rawl, except it's just a dude here.
He's here. We love him.
We love him. And he loves Sei's mom, which is, I feel, a common theme through this entire series.
Me too.
It's understandable, but... So yeah, with just the beam saber, the build strike does win. And Sei tries to find Reggie again, because he wants to ask him to team up. Can't find him, returns home, and finds Reggie is actually eating supper with his mom.
Yeah.
Really good first episode.
Very solid. Also, the very first scene, that battle scene, it's a good show of the music. It's an incredible theme.
The music in this show is stupid good. Like, oh my gosh, trying to find good themes to play for the show was very, very hard, because just, like, they're all so good. It's fun to highlight just all of the mobile suits, first of all. But, like, I'm really impressed with the variety they go with. Like, I think going in, my kind of assumption was it was going to be, like, very UC heavy, like Gunpla Builders was. But not really. There's, like, a lot of stuff from all over here. I mean, first of all, you see, like, every Gundam from every series in the model shop. But, like, you see grunt suits from, like, shit like Gundam X. And it just, we see, like, a sumo later on from Turn A. And like, it really does a good job of just, like, covering all of their bases. I mean, again, it's a toy commercial, so you're going to want to have to buy every single product. But, like, they do a damn good job of it.
One of my favorite things is that in the store, you see a box for the first grade Zaku.
Yeah! They got the retro stuff.
I figured there would be a lot more just, like, high grades and stuff, but no, they show the first grade.
Yeah. It's, so, let's see. Sei is doing the battle, and I just really like, it's just the way that the arm just pops out, and he just, like, wakes up. He's like, huh? What? And he fell asleep building his Gunpla. It happens to the best of us. Yeah. I really like the explanation of, like, what the Plavsky particles are, and, like, what justifies Gunpla battle is really cool to me, because, like, it reminds me so much of Custom Robo. I don't know if either of y'all have played those games.
I love Custom Robo. I have the
Custom Robo is my favorite GameCube game. It is so damn good. Just the idea of, like, you have these little mini robots and you battle them, and, like, they actually do get damaged because they're able to animate and use attacks and whatnot. And it's just, like, some reactive. It's a play on Minovsky particle from UC Timeline, but it's just Plavsky instead, because it's for plastic models. It's just it's so delightful. It makes me happy.
It's that level of stupid pun that really gets it. I love it.
Yeah,
it's so good.
So yes, Sei wakes up, and, like, we see his mom. We see Rinko. Just gonna hit the MILF alert button and leave it at that. She's nice. She's very nice.
I looked up. I decided to look up Gundam Build Fighters on Tumblr while I was doing my Gundam immersion over the last few weeks, and there's a lot more art of Sei's hot mom than I expected. I was just expecting, like, fun models, but hey, people like that mom. And I like her too. She's great.
Me too.
She's a very nice mom too, is the thing. So
yeah, she's like, I'm not getting a side ponytail anime mom. She's just regular anime mom. And we get our first, like, kind of reference to other Gundam media when she says she's going to the O8 supermarket to get food.
God, I forgot about that. Yeah.
I'm just writing the tally marks. We're gonna get a ton of these things later on. But she leaves, and Sei is in charge of the store, and, like, it's really boring because they're not in, like, a metropolitan center. They're just kind of in, like, a small neighborhood, so no one really comes in. And then we cut to this redhead kid who has, like, they're almost Quattro Bagina glasses, but they're, like, it's more of, like, a full visor
Mm-hmm.
I guess Quattro's kind of was like a visor, but he's like on top of a very tall building.
Reishi is such a fascinating character. I like his whole deal that we find out over these episodes. I love how he's just a complete stranger to this world, and in such a strange and fun way where
he's a literal alien.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I love his glasses, and I love that he just like spends most of the anime wearing them like above his head. He's wearing them up, and it's very Digimon to me.
I was literally gonna say it's giving Digimon Pro Tag. It really is. But we kind of get like the first hint that Reiji is not from here, because he just kind of like wonders, like, wow, this place is so much bigger than Arion, and we don't know what that is, but we'll find out. So we cut back to the store, and like a kid and his dad enter the store, and they're looking at all the Gundams, and they're really impressed with the build quality because Sei made and painted them himself. And they assume that since he's so good at making the Gunpla, he's good at battling too, because the dad sees Sei's dad's trophy from when he was like runner-up in the world tournament, and Sei's like, oh, well, that's my dad, I'm not actually good at it. And the little kid points out the wing gun. He's like, what is that? And the dad doesn't know. And Sei just goes complete fanboy mode and talks about, its abilities and specs, and starts like going over why it was made, like within the plot of Gundam Wing. And it's the show about Gundam. We love it. We love it. It's so cute.
Hope you love the Wing Gundam, because Gunpla really loves it too.
Gunpla loves the Wing Gundam far more than I do, although I do like we'll get there in the third episode. Italian Wing Gundam's treating me right, I gotta say.
It's really funny. It is really funny to me that Gundam, the anime, does exist in this universe, and Sei does watch it.
It's such a... Oh, the kayfabe... We're reaching levels of kayfabe that were not thought possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a bit realistic, because the one of the hobby towns I go to just does have Gundam clips constantly showing in the Gunpla section.
Yeah, it's good advertising. You see, like, whoa, look at the robots shooting lasers. I want it. I gotta go to a hobby shop. I was telling Dan.
I gotta say... Mm-hmm. I've been watching these episodes does make me want to own Gunpla kits, especially one of the ones that gets shown in the third episode. I'll get to it when I get to it, but right now I'm loving it.
Gunpla is freedom.
Gunpla is freedom.
This is when rude little bowl cut walks in.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking bob haircut bowl cut. Like,
Susan
this guy sucks.
I love his presence. He sucks so much. He's basically like, right off the bat that this is gonna be like the level 1 rival kid.
This is the Gary Oak of Gunpla.
Not even the Gary Oak. He's the Team Rocket.
Okay, yeah, sure. This is Sasaki. He has a Gyan. He's like, this, I love that he's the Gyan guy. We love the Gyan. Mm-hmm. It's very doofy looking. I love its like beam rapier. I love its just fucking Beyblade missile shield.
Yeah.
It's very silly.
It was the first kit I built in like half a year recently, and I loved it.
It's so fun. It strikes such a cool silhouette. It's like a knight. I like it a lot. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Sasaki comes in to like challenge Sei to kind of like, stick it to him and show him that just because he can build a good Gunpla doesn't mean he's a good fighter. So they go to this like hexagonal arena. It's like a little side room, and they scan in, and we see Plavsky particle dispersal, which is just like these little blue particles fly around everywhere, and essentially like turn the battlefield in this kind of like AR holographic zone where the pilots have these like two kind of like joystick balls in front of their hands that they're using to control the Gunpla with. It's a cool concept. It's a very custom robot, like I said. But the Gundams fight, or the Gundams, the Gundam Wing is what Sei uses, and he fights the Gyan, and he just gets completely bodied. Like, he stands no chance.
Yeah, he's me playing trying the Gunpla hero shooter for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, he didn't even use the hero UE special, which is just like fly into the air and shoot your buster, and you'll win.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he doesn't even know what Gundam Wing can do. But the little kid sees Sasaki beat Sei, and he's like, "Oh, I want that one. That suit's way cooler." So he leaves with a Gyan. You know what? I like the Gyan more than the Wing Gundam. So point to you, kid. Point to little Keisuke. It's just more fun.
Ironically, the last kit I built before my hiatus was in fact a Wing Gundam real grade, so...
It's not a bad real grade, though.
Yeah. It's not. It's like, ever since, like, after a certain year, you can pick up any real grade, and it's like, yeah, this is a good kit.
Yeah. They're all very solid.
Yeah. I'm not saying the old ones are bad, I'm just saying, like, after a certain year, you could pick up literally anyone, even once you're not a fan of the series, and it's like, no, it's still a good build.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to the real grade Hainu, which is like maybe the best Gunpla kit ever made.
I love Hainu.
Ooh. So his mom walks up, like, as he kind of like says goodbye to the customers. And like, Sei wishes he could pilot as good as his dad, and he kind of like walks off in a huff, and he's just, he's sad about not being good at Gunpla. So then we kind of cut to just a bunch of battles. Like, it's like a commercial for the Gundam Championship. We see like a Shokyu fighting Masala at London Bridge of all places. I love them. The Masala is one of my favorite suits from Zeta. Just a gigantic purple Dorito. We see like the wheel suits from Victory fighting a Gazelle and a Gazar. We see a DJ and Freedom Gundam. We see Lumber Gundam from G Gundam, which is really fun.
There's a lot of Gundam. I don't know if it's the main series or specifically like Tri. But I know G Gundam like comes up a lot.
I think G comes up in Tri a lot, because if I remember correctly, the main character suit is like a martial arts based suit. Yeah,
it's like it's oddly enough called the Burning Gundam in Tri.
Oh, yeah, it's like the build burning, isn't it?
Yeah, it starts as the build burning, becomes a Tri build burning, and it's funny because the God Gundam became the Burning Gundam in America. And it's like, that was apparently a coincidence, even though it's still a martial arts-based suit. I love it.
I mean, the Burning Gundam actually does burn, unlike the God Gundam. So, point to that, I guess. But it's just like a commercial for the 7th Gunpla Battle Championship. And like, Sei is moping about not being able to, to do well in it. And the red-haired kid, Reiji, walks up, and he's like, "Hey, what the hell is that?" And Sei looks at him, and he's like, he doesn't look like he's from around here, but even a foreigner would know about Gunpla. Mm-hmm. And the red-haired kid offers Sei a bite of bread, and like, this is when the shopkeeper rolls up, fucking Oblivion Guard style, "Stop, you're breaking the law." And Reiji, in his defense, says, "It was on a stand outside the store, so it was free, right? I could have just come up and take it."
Yeah. Yeah.
He has a point. Mm-hmm. Not from around here. He thinks it's free, he just takes it. And
it's right there. You can just grab it.
You can just grab it. He didn't sneak and make sure no one was watching, and that's what the issue was. But Sei diffuses the situation and like pays for the bread. And like they're kind of talking, and Sei just says, "Hey, it's good to help people in need." And he can tell that Reiji came from overseas, not from around here. And Reiji's like, "Hey, I got to pay you back immediately. It's a matter of honor." So he gives him a little shiny rock. It looks like a bead. And he's like, "If you wish on this rock, I will come running. It's a promise." Mm-hmm. He's just gone. And like Sei looks up, and he's just like, Reiji's just totally missing. Like, all right, whatever, weird.
Who was that mysterious boy?
Who is that mysterious protagonist-looking boy? Mm-hmm. I'll never find out. I won't make a wish on this rock.
I like this. He's so unknown to the ways of the modern world that he doesn't even know what soda is, let alone
his red drink.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
It's red with drink in all caps. It's great.
Red drink. I like that. The sound design's really funny in that part, because like it's like someone just cracked open a can of soda and held it to the microphone for like 30 seconds. Get some good fizzies in there. But we cut to like the next afternoon. or it's like during school, I guess, and like, Sei's just kind of staring at his rock, and his classmates are all looking. I was like, whoa. His classmate China, we learn her name later, but she's like, oh, it's pretty. So that afternoon, Sei finishes his build strike. He shows it to his mom, and his mom's like, wow, it has the same aura of the models your dad built. And he's like, oh, wow, you really think so? And Sasaki rolls up here, and he's like, wow, this is a great Gundam. I'm so glad you made it for me to operate and use, right?
God.
this guy, this fucking guy.
He's such a little shit.
He's such an asshole. I love him. He rules. And then this is when I like fell out of my chair, because like fucking Rambo Rao just like walks out from behind an aisle, just like expositing. This is the funniest shit in the world.
He's here to exposit plot and become Sei's new dad.
Like, he just, okay, so he's Rambo Rao, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
He is like, he's just Rambo Rao, and he wears like a blue blazer and like a pink shirt with a gray sweater over it. And he's just there. Like, this guy fucking kicks ass. I love him so much.
He's dressed in the casual style.
He's so casual. He walks out from behind the aisle. I think he might even be holding like a master grade goof box, and he's like, I will referee this match. You go, dude. This guy kicks ass. I love him so much.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of like stares down Sasaki, and he's like, your eyes are filled with confidence and ambition, and you have guts, but nothing is guaranteed on the battlefield. And he also is like, has a crush on Sei's mom.
Yeah. He's lacking his wife, and he needs a new one.
Yeah, we haven't found Hamon in the Build Fighters world yet.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get this man his Hamon. So they set their gunpla down. They're like in the desert, and Sasaki drops his weapons. He drops his shield and he drops his rifle. And they're like, whoa, is he gonna fight honorably? And Sasaki just says he doesn't want Sei to like have any excuses when he loses, even if Sasaki's not using weapons at all. So a little rude, but whatever.
Yeah.
And Build Strike is fast, but Sei can't really control it. He just keeps on like stumbling, and he's just getting like manhandled by the Gyan as usual.
Oh no.
It's so sad. And as he's like kind of getting approached to the ring out, he thinks like, what would my dad do? But he hears Reiji telling him not to give up, and like Reiji's just here now. He just like blinks into the little like gunpla closet, and he's like, hey, you made a wish. And Reiji's gonna fight in his place. He's never done this before in his life, first of all. So that's a little, cause for concern, I guess. And he's learning the controls and is like making the build strike, just like do a little funny dance. Sasaki takes major umbrage with this random guy showing up, and he's like, this is supposed to be my gunpla, not yours. And like, Reiji gets it almost immediately, and it's like just dodging every attack Sasaki can throw out. Mm-hmm. And fucking Raw wonders if Reiji's a new type. Just, that shit is so good.
Maybe he is. Who knows?
Maybe he is. He's the only new type in this world of normal people. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's also an alien, so he might as well also be a new type.
Mm-hmm.
And he closed the distance, and like Sei shows him how to pop out the beam saber. And he just cuts the Gyan into pieces. And like after the battle, Sei looks around and Reiji's just gone. Like just completely missing. So like Sei runs out into the street at night trying to find him. He's like, I gotta find someone who can realize all my ideals. And he gets really sad because he can't find Reiji. He can't find his new best friend. So he comes home. Rolling. What was that? Oh yeah. It's very like intense ending. Yeah, because like, they don't do the opening or ending for the episode. But he comes home, and then Reiji's just there.
Yep.
He's chilling.
Just enjoying some vegetable medley or what have you.
He's his new brother now.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first episode.
Yeah.
It's really good. Oh, I guess we didn't really talk much about like what the Star build is. It's like, or a build strike rather. It's a strike Gundam that has like a little bit more color on it and some kind of like weird yellow accents on the shoulders. It just looks like a kind of like more souped up strike Gundam. It looks fine. It's like a little, nice. It very much is basic tricolor protagonist Gundam.
Yeah.
I don't really know if I care for like the weird like blue bubbly legs it has, but we get some cooler ones later on, so it's fine.
I'm kind of surprised there isn't like an entry grade build strike. Like
I know. I mean, there's like an entry grade.
But...
Yeah, there's an entry grade strike. I guess it's. I mean, yeah, you wouldn't think it'd be that different. I guess because like they don't like doing stickers on entry grades, and like
Oh god, no.
I guess the part separation, if you look at like kind of the wrist and the shoulders and like the kind of hip guards, you probably wouldn't be able to do that with entry grade level pieces. But
Yeah, I guess I think the only thing that has stickers of any of the entry grades is the new Gundam for like the shoulder sticker.
right, yeah, the little Amuro logo. That'd be cool if that was baked into it, though. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, Dan, do you want to take the second episode summary for us?
Sure. I wrote this up. It's the morning after the last episode. As Sei has his breakfast, he recalls how the previous night, he tried to convince Reiji to join the Gunpla Battle World Championship with him. But Reiji declined, explaining he had already paid his debt with the previous Gunpla battle. Reiji then spent the night there, which he owed to his mom. Sei leaves for school, which is a Gakuen called Seiho Academy. Not long after, Reiji wakes up, and while Sei is in school, Yuki Tatsuya, the president of the high school model building club, shows up to talk with Sei about his Gunpla. He has gained a reputation for, allegedly, beating Sasaki, and Yuki asks Sei if he plans on competing in the Gunpla Battle World Championship. Yuki himself competed last year and gained the title of third block champion. Outside, Reiji has shown up and is talking with Sei's classmate, China Kosaka. They are interrupted by a large gorilla-like executive student council member named Ganda, who chastises Reiji for trespassing. Sei's conversation with Yuki is interrupted when China shows up to tell them that Reiji has gotten into a fight with Ganda and has him in a submission hold. Ganda and Reiji are brought to the club room, and Yuji covers for Reiji by explaining he had been invited to discuss the matters of Gunpla. Yuki is also the student council, and Ganda is also part of the model building club. Ganda suggests that he and Reiji have an exhibition match to test Reiji's skills. Yuki offers any Gunpla on display, but Sei has already brought Build Strike with him. Word gets around school about the fight, and we are also told that the reason they have a Gunpla battle arena is because Yuki's father is rich and puts a lot of money into the school. The battle begins, and Mr. Rawl, who is here for some reason, tells the audience about Klavisky particles, which were developed 10 years ago and allow for Gunpla battles to mimic actual giant robot fights. Reiji and Ganda battle, and the fight takes a turn when the simulated space colony they are battling in experiences a hold breach, pulling in the competitors. Reiji wins regardless, but the fight is interrupted by the arrival of the Zaku Amazing, also known as the Crimson Comet, piloted by Yuki. The Crimson Comet is easily able to overcome Build Strike and wins the match. We are told in the next scene that Yuki spared Build Strike, claiming that it was incomplete and that he wanted it to reach its full potential, so he could have a rematch in the upcoming Gunpla Battle World Championship. Reiji is now committed to competing in the championship, and the episode ends with him mysteriously teleporting away, leaving Sei confused.
He's an alien!
He can teleport.
That'll explain a lot.
It's how he gets around. But he hasn't gone anywhere yet, because, episode starts out, and Sei's getting breakfast, but Reiji's just, asleep, and he's, hogging the bed. His rules. I like that he's just, his brother now, basically. Except he's his mom's favorite now, because he loves her veggie stir-fry way more than Sei does.
I love that.
You backtalk the stir-fry, you're gonna be the second favorite.
Yeah, I would love some veggie stir-fry.
You're the only child? Not anymore. Second favorite.
I like your new brother, who we just found, who's also an alien. And so Sei goes off to school, and we hear the opening, which completely rips. I love it. Yeah. It's very, very good.
It's great.
It's just nice, high energy, simple. It's a good opening. So as Sei walks to school, he kind of thinks back to last night, when he asks Reiji to be his pilot as he builds, and Reiji refuses. He's like, I can't be bothered. I paid my debt for you. And Sei is like, all right, well, then what about sleeping here and eating breakfast? And Reiji's, or no, he's like, what about your debt for dinner? And Reiji's like, well, I'll pay it back for your mom, and I'm gonna pay her back for sleeping here too. And Sei's like, huh? Reiji's like, good night, and just takes his bed and falls asleep.
Mm-hmm.
It's cute.
I love Reiji. He's great.
He's good. He's a good like second. I mean, they're both like the main character. It's like main character A, main character B, pretty much.
Yeah.
He's a nice boy.
He's a nice boy who seems to be a genie or something.
Yeah, we'll find out what his deal is.
Eventually.
So we go to school, and like, you know, Sei is he's sketching upgrades for the build strike because it's not complete. All it has is just its beam sabers.
Yeah.
And like the teacher asks him a question, and his inner monologue turns into his outer monologue as he starts just kind of like babbling on about beam rifle outputs, and he realizes that he was asked a question by the teacher. He goes, the answer is 2/3, and the teacher just goes, this is literature class.
Mm-hmm.
I got a laugh out of me.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. He's cute.
Yeah. Then Yuki shows up. He's great. He's so cool and awesome, and he plays with Gunpla.
All the cool kids play with Gunpla.
All the cool kids do.
That's so true.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
You should play with Gunpla too if you want to be a cool kid.
Yeah, that's the only prerequisite.
Mm-hmm. So he like brings him to the model kit club. I love this little club room with like all the little models, and like you see stuff that isn't like Gunpla too. There's like tanks.
You get like the Tamiya military models.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sei gets really excited about the Zaku, which is lore accurate, made to look like aged because in the story they had to use old mobile suits to get by.
Mm-hmm. It's cute. It's awesome. And like Yuki kind of, he's like, hey, well, Sei thinks that he was invited there to be invited to the club, and Yuki's like, well, not exactly. You know, I heard you beat Sasaki. He has real skills. And he's like, are you going to enter the Gunpla Championship? And, you know, Sei has to admit that it wasn't him, but it was someone else. And that's when Yuki's like, wow, it was someone else. I want to meet this guy then. Mm-hmm. And as they chat, we cut to like the courtyard, and China and the other girls are chatting about Sei and Tatsuya. And Reiji just like pops up here, and he starts asking about Sei, which is when Gonda, this like just big beefy student council member, comes up asking why he's on school grounds when he's clearly not a student. You know, he's not in uniform or anything. Mm-hmm. And Reiji just like start talking back with him, and you know they're both being rude to each other.
Yeah, he's talking to a student council member like that. How dare he?
I've seen Yu-Gi-Oh! It doesn't end well.
Mm-hmm.
It'll end up with him like falling off a roof or something.
Yeah.
And you know, they start to argue, and like China runs off as they start to get into it to like go find Sei. And as she gets him, she's like, hey, can you come get your commands? And he looks out the window, and like Reiji has Gonda in like a double leg lock on the ground, and he's like pounding it's fucking funny.
It's so good.
He is alien CQC. He's so good at it.
Mm-hmm. He's trained, and he's trained in all sorts of martial proficiencies.
Yeah.
They like chat over. They like hash things out in the model kit room, and like Gonda is like, well, if you want to make up for it, duel me, 1v1 me.
1v1 me, coward. He won't.
Mm-hmm. He's and I love that. Yuki's like, hey, you can have any Gunpla in this entire room, but no, he's got the protagonist Gunpla already, which he shouldn't have brought to school, as it turns out, because he's not in the club.
Yeah, which is, I mean, I understand this is a world where Plavsky particles exist, but like, you can't regulate little plastic model kits. Let the boy bring his toy to school.
Yeah.
Let him play, coach.
Let him have it. It's just another way the man is keeping us down by not letting us bring our Gunpla to school.
But they get ready to duel. We see this gym. It's a big ass gym, and it's a gym entirely made just for Gunpla. Because like the only thing, there's no basketball hoops or anything. It's just like a big ass like hexagonal field. And where the field in Iori models is like one hexagon, this is like like a set of 7. Like it's like a, they're all arranged in a circle kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And we see that Gonda has a gold sumo from turn A, and Reiji has the Bills. I love the sumo. Sid Mead truly went off when he designed all those suits from turn A. I guess he didn't do all of them.
He did most of them, but yeah.
Did he? I'm looking it up online. Designer doesn't say.
Sid
Mead.
Yeah, it took me a while to find that out too, because like some pages don't even list him for whatever reason, which is a shame.
Yeah, he gives it a nice touch. This is when Raoul shows up to once again be just like the exposition machine, and he's just like kind of like standing next to China. He's like talking about how he's expositing about Plavsky particles. He's like, they showed up 10 years ago. They react with the plastic and gunpla to animate them as if they're real suits, even with beam effects. And China's just like, who the fuck is this weird old man who showed up out of nowhere?
Doesn't even go to kicking this guy out.
Yeah, clearly not a student also, and clearly not a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
They're battling like inside a colony. And Reiji's kicking ass. Like Gonda can't do anything to him. Gonda, he like fires this massive beam out of his wrist, and Tatsuya thinks, "Oh, this is it." But no, Reiji completely dodges it.
Yeah.
And this is when like a state change happens because Gonda just like pierced a hole in the side of the colony, so like all the power goes out and like all the air starts rushing out of it. So they have like the hazard of like all this insane airflow going on right now.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's like a Guilty Gear or something.
It's a cool detail. And I love how like they're like both trying to like not get sucked in, and like Reiji uses that to his advantage to like sort of like basically he's able to like get close enough to like just fire at him.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah. But yeah, he manages to win, but that's not how it turned out.
No. He wins, and he wins by like piercing the cockpit of the sumo, which is like as many turn A suits are. It's like between the legs. He blasts it up, and as he wins, Yuki shows up here, and he like pushes his hair back to make him look all like a wild child, and then the fucking like sickest flamenco starts playing as the Zaku Amazing rolls up. He's the Crimson Comet. Char is here now.
We have our Char. It's this guy. It's Yuki. He's got big cleavers.
Yeah, the heat natas. Oh, Zaku Amazing's cool. It's like it's a Zaku, sure. But it has like a ton of missile launchers on the shoulders, and it has like these like this like the kind of cav army that looks like it's high mobility type, but it just like it's more missiles and grenade launchers on it. And his main weapons, he doesn't have a heat hawk like the regular Zaku's have. They're like heat natas, but they just look like fucking butcher knives. Oh, it's so badass.
The full page picture of the Zaku Amazing, it almost looks a little more like the heavy arms at times.
Yeah, with the amount of guns it has on it, especially like the shoulder cannons, it really looks like it. And you look at the head, and honestly, some ways the head is drawn. It looks more like a Gyaradoga than a Zaku, but it's in like the Char color of that kind of like dark salmon. It's not quite red or crimson, but
yeah,
this thing is maneuverable as hell. Like Reiji can barely like graze it as he swings his beam sabers. And we get another reference to more Gundam, because as Tatsuya fights, he says Moe Agare, Moe Agare, Moe Agare Gunpla, which is the words of the first Gundam opening. Except he says Gundam, not Gunpla, but you get it.
Oh, that's so good. I didn't notice that.
It's so cool. And he wins as like he pins Reiji down and like holds the heat nada to his throat. I really like that in this world where when your model gets destroyed, it like actually gets destroyed. Like Yuki is just like, no, like I'm gonna have an honorable victory and not destroy your plastic kit that you've poured hours of your life into. It's very nice of him.
Yeah, it's an interesting angle that I'm really into for this show.
It's the Gunpla Battler's respect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, have you tried to put together a kit that fell apart? It's not fun.
Not fun. You need a lot of plastic cement. I don't want to fuck with that. And like as Yuki beats Reiji, Raul is like, he gives China wisdom. The sad truth of battle is that the tides can change in an instant. And China's like, I still have no idea who this man is. And Sei is like, wow, that was so cool. That's Zaku. Did you see that? Reiji is livid. Reiji does not like Yuki at all. He's like, that guy's a jerk, and he's like not calming down at all. Oh my god. He's just like, he's mad that Yuki like barged into battle out of nowhere. And he tells Sei that like, your machine's incomplete. You got to spruce up before battle. I want to fight that guy again. And he talks about how he really wants to fight with his truly completed Gundam. And Sei's like, what the hell is your deal? And Reiji just says, if you complete your Gundam, I can tell you. And then he just like, whoop, disappears. He teleports away. Goodbye, Reiji. We never saw him again.
Yeah. He's just gone. He teleported.
Like,
it's great.
Because at first, he Sei looks up at him. He's like starts to freak out because Reiji's like glowing orange, and he just like whoops away. And Sei's like, "Huh?" It's a shock to the poor boy's system. And that's where the episode ends. We hear the ending here too, and I like the ending more than I like the opening. I think.
Yeah, it's a good ending.
It's like really high energy. It goes off.
I love like how it's just like all of these characters cosplaying as their Gunpla.
Yes, it's so fun. It's a very cute detail. I really like it. Yeah, and that's the second episode.
All right.
And I reckon it's time for the third. This is, Build Fighters episode 3. Full package. Sei demands to know the truth about Reiji. When asked, Reiji says that he's a prince from a world outside of Earth who was transported here by some sort of magical artifact. Sei doesn't believe him, of course, and seemingly gives up on Reiji when he disappears. It turns out Reiji is sparring with Raul, who has been trying to find a Gunpla fighter for Reiji who can fight on Yuki's level. Reiji ends up meeting Riccardo Fellini, an Italian Gunpla fighter who uses custom wing Gundam Fenice. The next day, qualifiers for the tournament are held, but Reiji is nowhere to be found. Sei glumly resigns himself to piloting his own Gunpla, but in the nick of time, Raul and Reiji show up, with Reiji showing off his new skills piloting the custom Gunpla that Sei tuned just for him. He builds strike full package, winning the fight and advancing to the second round of the qualifiers. It's fucking cool. It's good. The show kicks ass. I love it.
Yeah.
We get to see Raul fight with the goof first off.
Yeah.
Goof troop.
He's got his goof.
Another callback to UC Gundam.
Yeah. And I think he mentioned specifically he's not using like a high grade goof. He's using like an 80s kit goof. It's like old and stiff and can't fight that well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's a retro old man. And he's trying to like dispense battle wisdom and he's like, however, ... And like that's when Reiji just like cuts the goof in half and Rambaral's like, okay, rematch. I'm going to use my guerrilla tactics this time.
He's got guerrilla tactics.
I think your Gunpla sucks.
This is no Zaku. Sei walks in, like he looks really sullen, and he like grabs Reiji and takes him up to his room, and he's like, who the fuck are you? What's the deal? Hey, why'd you do that? Why'd you teleport? What's the deal? What's up?
He gives a whole backstory about him being a little prince from another world. This show is now a reverse isekai.
Complete with, like, classic RPG music in the background.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's like hand-drawn. It's like the fucking, the chapter cutscene, opening cutscene or whatever. It's really cute. He's a prince.
He's a prince. He finds out about Gunpla and all the magical things about it, and now he wants to come back. So Sei like asks him, can you like go to the other world or show me how to do cool powers? But no, you gotta work on that Gunpla, kid.
No, and he's like, by the way, I'm taking a few days off. Goodbye. And he just leaves.
Yeah.
And his mom is like, well, Sei, he's probably telling the story for a reason. He probably doesn't want to tell you. It's fine. All that matters is that you like fighting. Excuse me. He's like, all that matters is that you like fighting with him, so why does it matter?
I like how Sei accused his mom of believing the story.
Yeah, right? Like, his mom clearly is like, again, hey, maybe she believes the story because he likes her vegetable stir fry better. Take the hint, say. She's cooking, mama.
You faithful child.
They're gonna have to do the Good Boy Olympics from like episode 1 of Phantom Blood.
Exactly. God. So Say works on the Gunpla some more. He works on upgrading the build strike. We see Reiji walking around at night, and he meets Raul. And Raul exposits. He's like, Gunpla is really popular now, but even before it was worldwide popular, there's like old heads hanging around who've been doing this for decades. They fight pro style. And he takes him to like a bar that's just, you have the entire wall covered in like bottles of booze, but then everything else is like art of like Gunpla manuals and boxes and like, display cases full of kits. And everyone's in cosplay. Which is really cool, except for when they start doing Sieg Zion, and I'm like, no, God, please, cut it out, guys.
Extremely harrowing.
Like, yes, there are fans like that, unfortunately, but at the same time, like, we do not like to talk about them.
Yeah,
we don't.
Maybe you shouldn't do this one. Gundam
maybe there's a reason why chanting Sieg Zion and pounding your fist in the air evokes a certain kind of imagery from World War II, and maybe we shouldn't engage with that, Gundam fans. Oh, God. Everyone calls him Lieutenant Raul, too, which is just, like, really choice.
Yeah, it really does make me think of, like, how common it is in, like, Star Wars fandom to have, like, people dress up as, like, stormtroopers and whatnot.
Just like, completely uncritical of, like, what you're emulating.
But, like, even then, it's like, well, if we're talking, like, up to a certain point in history, you could say, well, the stormtroopers don't really, like, do specific Nazi things. They don't necessarily, say, like, hail, what's the fucking guy's name?
Palpatine? Vader?
Yeah, what's his first name?
Sheev?
Yeah, so they don't say hail Sheev or, Sieg Sheev or what have you.
Sieg Sheev. Sieg Sheev is interesting to me.
Yeah, like, I just finished this high mobility Zaku from Origin. I really enjoyed the Zaku. You gotta understand the history of Zeon, though, and like it's history. There's a reason why.
Yeah, it's just you gotta learn it. All my kingdom for an ounce of media literacy, please. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But there is one good thing, which is Reiji wants to battle everyone here. He wants. He wants the hardest fight possible. He says, bring me the worst gunpla you have.
Give me the shittiest little thing you can muster. And
he gets the, is it RB-79 ball or 78?
He gets the RB-79 ball.
My notes in this section is ball.
Yeah, webbed bose. It's the ball. It's the ball. It's ball from 0079, the iron coffin, or the mobile coffin, or whatever the fuck they called it.
You pilot that into battle, you're dead.
Mm-hmm. So I forget what story it's from. It might be from Thunderbolt.
It's in a few of them. I'm pretty sure one of them is also an 8th MS team.
Yeah, there's a specific version of the ball, and I don't know which story it's from. But it's essentially a ball that they made look like a Gundam head to scare the fuck out of enemies.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, I think that is Thunderbolt. I love that one.
It's just, it is so fucking funny. They're just like, what if it was like the scary, what if we did psychological warfare and make it look like a giant Gundam head flying around? And it worked, except for when it didn't. But it works for Reiji, because Reiji, like, just starts beating ass with the ball. Like, he can take anyone on one-on-one. And one of the guys is like, is this kid from the Flanagan Institute? Mark another Gundam reference. It's great. It's so funny. Reiji's so good at this.
I think there's also a Gundam fighting game where the ball is actually overpowered because of its size.
Oh, yeah. Because, like, it's like Odd Job and GoldenEye, right? You can't get hit. You don't take damage.
Pet Shop from the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fighting game.
Oh my god, that bird is a menace. But Reiji's not satisfied. He like, these guys can't give him a fight like Yuki can, so he challenges all 5 on 1. And he, of course, starts to get his ass kicked until 2 Buster Rifle shots fire. And we hear fucking Mamma Mia ass Italian accordion music as we meet Riccardo Fellini. Italian Elon Musk is here. This guy rules.
The most Italian man in Gundam is here.
You thought G Gundam was the only Gundam with weird nationality stereotypes?
It's just I'm Riccardo Fellini. I love him.
It is making me look forward to more of the show because we are very clearly going to be dealing with like this big world tournament, and I need some weird cartoon G Gundam stereotype men in here.
I see. This is the level I want, where it's like not something I have to like condemn like half of the racist suits in G Gundam, but when it's something like this, when it's just like a funny Italian man who drives a Vespa everywhere, that's good. I can get behind that. Riccardo Fellini rules. His suit is the Wing Gundam Fenice, which is really fucking cool because like I don't care that much for the Wing Gundam. This changes the tricolor to be like this beautiful olive green instead of the blue. And it's asymmetrical. Like, its left leg has, like, a green big spiky bit on it. Its left shoulder is, like, covered in green armor instead of white armor. Its V-fin is asymmetrical, and, like, its right eye is red and its left eye is green. And, like, it only has a wing on one side of it, so it looks like kind of, like, a cloak draped over his back of his shoulder. It's really sick. I quite like it.
Yeah.
So he's gonna fight Riccardo Fellini, and he's gonna train. In the meantime, Sei is still building his Gunpla, and he's like asleep again. He dreams about his dad, and his dad tells him that he finished his Gunpla for the championship, and it's Gundam. It's RX-78-2 Grandpa Gundam. He throws it up. He yells "Tobey Gundam," which is the name of the Gundam theme song. It's like 5 marks of references for now.
And I still love that opening because it really does not tell you what Gundam's actually all about.
Mm-hmm. It's truly, it's about the horrors of war. Let's make it like a fun little marching theme. Yay! Moyagare Gundam. And Chino wakes him up. He's asleep in the art room, and he finally finishes Gundam, the Build Strike full package. It's just like the Build Strike. It's like the equivalent of the Isle Strike for like the regular Strike Gundam from Seed. It just has like a winged backpack on it that lets it maneuver better, and it has guns now. It's fine. It's cool.
Yeah. It's nice.
China like looks at it, she's like, wow, that's cool. And she doesn't really understand Gunpla much, but she like does remember when she first met Sei, and he complimented her painting, so it's like, cool, 3 episodes in, we get the mandatory love interest, I guess. I could do without it, but whatever. It's like, it's Gunpla show. I don't need like there to be like a subplot like love triangle between the main characters. Like,
put in like a girl with a Gundam, sure.
Let China pilot a Gundam.
I know she's going to because I've watched the credits.
That's right. Yeah, she has the fucking.
She's got a bear guy.
She has the bear guy. Good taste, China.
It's a good Gunpla, I will say.
I won't want.
I should. So Sazak, they're like going to the stadium. Mm-hmm. We see all these people in their like Gunpla fights. Sazaki's fighting and winning. There's like, Yuki gets into a fight, he wins that one. Yuki meets up with China. They're like watching, and like, China finds out like, when you lose a Gundam fight, your Gunpla breaks apart, and she watches this boy lose, and he's so sad because his Gunpla is, just torn apart, and he's gonna have to put it back together.
This was something I wish that was transferred over from Gunpla beginners.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The fact that Gunpla does not get destroyed, it's just, it's being scanned.
Yeah, it's like, you have, like, I can understand them showing battle damage with the Plavsky particles, but, like, make it so that the Plavsky particles can put them back together afterwards, because, you have, like, a really high level of unneeded stress because you're worried that, like, at any moment, their Gunpla is gonna fucking explode and they have to, like, build a new one from scratch.
Yeah.
It's not a very cost-effective hobby, I must say.
Yeah.
It's not like Beyblade.
Yeah, when Beyblades break apart, you can just put them... You just got, like, 3 parts.
Smack those parts back together, you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it's the indomitable battler spirit.
I guess that's their trick. because now you gotta spend money on parts to rebuild it.
That's right. Yeah, give Daddy Bandai his money.
Bandai's trick.
Bandai's trick. But this is when Sei shows up, and he's really sad because, of course, Reiji's not here. And Yuki's a little worried about Sei. China's worried about Sei, and Sei is like, "Oh, I got my hopes up, and I guess I can't rely on Reiji at all." And he's like, "But that's just my ego," because Sei kind of realizes that Reiji clearly only wants to fight Yuki, so Sei just has to do everything else on his own. But he's getting mad because Reiji made a promise, and only now does Reiji show up with Raw in tow, fucking coming in like Sasuke and Kakashi during the Chunin exams, just like poof, I'm here now, dramatic entrance. Mm-hmm. He has like bandaged fingers because he did 200 matches against Riccardo Fellini.
Yeah, he played with Gundam so hard he broke his fingers.
This is just like
very sore.
This is just like when Aster Phoenix busted his hand shaking too many hands and Yu-Gi-Oh! GX listened to Pot of Greed.
Yeah. It is basically. I did when I built my first Gunpla. I did have very sore thumb and forefingers from gripping so many tiny pieces of plastic.
Yeah.
So I guess it's true to life.
Oh, you built the Zaku too, right? Or you built the Zaku too, Dan.
Yes.
So if you build either the master grade or the real grade Zaku 2, you know how it has like the tubes on the face and like the backpack and the legs? You have to put every individual segment on those tubes by hand in those other kits.
God.
Oh god, is that on the master grade too?
Uh-huh.
Oh god. When we're talking about real grades, I'm going to put a big asterisk on all of them being good. I'm going to put an asterisk to say, except for the fucking Zaku. I don't know if the green Zaku is any better, but I did because Char Zaku is number 2 in the list.
I think the green one is like number 3, I guess, probably.
I will say that there was one saving grace about the Zaku is that they give you a lot more of those cable beads than you need because
they know you're going to lose them.
Mm-hmm.
They know you're going to lose them. Okay, yeah, the Zaku 2 regular was the 4th one they built. The Isle Strike was the 3rd. But yeah, I mean, honestly though, even like the 3rd year of real grades, that's when like the Mark II came out. I like that real grade. I like the cool like fabric cables it comes with.
Ooh.
I just love the Mark II in general.
Maybe I should get that next time. I saw it in stock, but that's when I got the Gian and the Gun Cannon and the Ground GM I still need to build. Master grade
Hell
one.
Yes. Gunpla is freedom, I must say.
Unless it has screws in it, then it's not freedom.
Yeah, I like the old master grades. You gotta screw those bad boys together. Frankenstein. So Reiji's here. He'll happily pilot Sei's machine that he made just for him. It's nice. It's the Build Strike full package, and he fights a Hammurabi, my beloved Stingray son, and he just like shoots it down in one shot. Like he just completely lights his ass up.
It's a Gunpla.
Yeah. It's a Gunpla. And like Sei cries a little bit. He's happy they won. He's happy Reiji's back. But they got to train now because, they only beat one round of the qualifiers, so there's a lot more to go. And, Yuki sees how good Reiji does in this suit, and he has a fire under his ass, and China starts getting excited, too. And the last shot we see is Ricardo riding his fucking Vespa around, thinking about those boys and getting excited for the World Tournament.
And we see his fingers are also damaged from all that intense Gunpla battling.
200 matches.
Yeah.
Ricardo.
Reiji gave him a run for his money, and he wants to see him win.
That's episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a little something.
Oh, there's a huge segment. I do want to note there's also like a little post-credit scene where China brings her little brother to the shop, but really she's there to get her own Gunpla for girls.
Right, I forgot about that. Gunpla for girls.
Mm-hmm.
Gunpla is freedom.
Yeah.
You can get any Gunpla you want.
Yeah.
Don't limit yourself,
girls.
China.
I look at my Gunpla kits and, they're all the same. Oh, weird.
Yeah.
I mean, that also the opposite, boys should get the Bear Guide too. It's a really cool kit.
Is everyone... If I'm elected president, I will promise every citizen a Bear Guy kit of their own.
That's a really hard promise because the last year I've been unable to find any Bear Guys.
I know, we need more. Come, Daddy Bandai, please.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we got a segment today. As is tradition, it is time for Beyond Toon World.
You're going to love this. Trust me. Beyond Toon World!
Why not start with the main character, one of the main characters, but I guess the main character, the builder of the Build Fighters. We're going to be talking about the voice actor for Sei Iori, Mikako Komatsu.
All right.
Who was born on Skyrim Day, November 11th in 1988 in Kuwana, Mie, Japan. She's both a seiyuu and a singer. She can do it all. Doesn't have a ton of roles that I recognize, but the big ones I got. So, of course, in 2013, she voiced Sei Iori in Build Fighters. Her first role ever was in 2010, a show called Hero Man, where she voiced Joseph Carter Jones, which I guess is technically a JoJo, kind of fucked up. Mm-hmm. In 2010, she voiced Tekken in Hyperdimension Neptunia. In 2011, Yukio Zexel. She voiced a character called Kotori Mizuki. I don't know who that is. She has cool green hair and like a fucking Dragon Ball Scouter, which is pretty fun. But I've seen her around, so I know she's like a main character because she shows up a lot in like all the games and stuff, voicing this character. 2014, a less good mech show, Aldnoah Zero. She voiced Inku Amifumi. In 2016, ReZero, Starting Life in Another World, she voiced Minerva. 2018, A Place Further Than the Universe, she voiced Hanami Yasumoto. This is true for almost every voice actor ever, but of course she voiced Popuko in an episode of Pop Team Epic. Of course. Because they change him out every episode. In 2019, Kaguya-sama, she voiced Toyomi Fujiwara, who I guess is Fujiwara's mom. Gotta say, Kaguya-sama, pretty good manga. I caught up with it recently. I quite like it. In 2019 anime of Demon Slayer, she voiced Susamaru, who people might remember her as like the ball girl that Tanjiro fights in like the medicine mansion, who like she like throws the balls and can control them. She's cool. She's fun. She's like 6 arms. In 2019, she voiced Senku as a little kid in Dr. Stone, another tremendously fun show. In 2014 video game of Hyrule Warriors, she was none other than Linkle.
Oh, right. I remember hearing about Linkle.
I love Linkle. Linkle's so fun. What if Link just had, like, twin crossbows?
What if Zelda was a girl?
What if Zelda was a girl? I'm always wondering this. Let's see. And I guess the biggest one, 2020, the anime called Jujutsu Kaisen. Hit show, hit manga. She voiced the best character in the entire fucking series, Maki Zenin.
All right.
I love Maki. She rules. She just had a really, really cool arc in the manga. Jujutsu Kaisen's good. And that's pretty much all of the notable roles that Mikako Komatsu did for anime voice acting. So that's our Beyond Toon World for the week. I realized also, I'm pretty sure I fucked up, and we didn't do a Robot of the Week last time we recorded.
No, we didn't. I wasn't sure what our
that was my fuck up. So to make it up, y'all will each do one Robot of the Week instead of just one person per episode. So Dan, we'll start with you. What is your Robot of the Week?
I think it's the RV-78 ball.
We love the ball.
It's
just a funny little guy.
Mm-hmm. No, you go ahead.
It's so small that the high grade kit of it comes with 2.
Because
it wouldn't be enough.
It's so small that version Katoki is the cheapest version Katoki by far.
Yeah, the master grade ball is still not that large.
It's like half the price of the next like highest priced version Katoki master grade.
Mm-hmm.
Great kit though.
I think it's the next on my list of Gunpla to buy.
Highly recommend. It's a really fun build.
Yeah.
I love the ball.
It's also nice to build kits that are like not Gundam shaped.
Yeah, something new. It's like one of my favorite real grades is the Zeong because it's just like so different.
Oh,
like it has a head and arms, but that's kind of it. Everything else is just totally wild.
They never released legs for it, but well.
I honestly am kind of surprised by that. Like, I would have expected there to be, like, a P Bandai release of, like, real Razion legs.
But the only thing we got was, like, the final shooting Like
I got
accessory
that.
kit.
I ordered that. I fucking shelled out for that, and it was worth it.
Hmm.
It's sitting on my next to me right now, actually. And Yuria, what's your robot of the week?
Well, I think because I got into it a bit, the Gian.
Yes, the Gion's so good.
Yeah, like I brought up before, the Gian is like originally a kit that wasn't even like not a kit, a robot that was competing against the Gelgoog to accompany Doms during the final bits of the 1 Year War, and it lost, which is a shame because while the Gelgoog was basically all around to kind of upgrade Zaku, the Gian is most suited for close range, hence the beam rapier, and it has that silly shield that launches little stinger missiles.
Mhm.
And
It's good shield.
yeah, there. I think it's Garen's Greed, the game where you can basically re-influence events in the 1 Year War, or UC universe. One of the things you could do is invest in the Gian instead, and that actually has effects of giving you Gian-based upgrades.
That's so fun. The problem is the Gion, not a terribly great suit in combat, unfortunately. Damn, they made an exam version of the Gion? That rules. That's fucked up. It's cool. It's like I know that there's like versions of the Gion in future build series that like get really, really wild with it. Like there's the Gion Salat, I think is one of them. And there's like the Gion that's like mixed with the Arjarja.
Oh, right. Yeah, we'll see more Gian stuff in the future.
Yes. The Gyagya, that's what it's called. But a very nice choice. We love the Gian, we love the ball. And now it's time to do plugs. Where can we find all of us on the internet, Yuria?
I'm on Twitter at YourGalYuria, and last time I said that we are getting into the final episode of Mouse Guard recording for 6 Feet Under. That is half true. We recorded nearly 3 hours of a finale, and we're like only halfway through, so
Content.
look forward to that.
I'm so looking forward to that. Am I next?
Yeah, hit it.
Yeah. I'm Dan. You can find me at a lot of places, and you can now find all those places at biggerchallenge.card.co. It's just a list of links. Like, you can listen to my many other podcasts, which include The Sonic Shuffle, a Sonic podcast. We recently recorded an episode talking about the Hydroxian's various works. Next episode is going to be on some episodes of the Sonic Boom TV series. Video games, the movie, the podcast, a video game movie review podcast I do with my friend Maxie. Just today, I uploaded our Hardcore Henry episode, and next week we are slated to record our episode on Pokemon, the first movie. You can listen to let's see. That's it for other active podcast. Oh, Pot of Greed, a Yu-Gi-Oh podcast.
Right.
Pot of Greed. We're making our way through the final season of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. We've entered a sort of arc that seems to just be dedicated to giving the various major characters a final send-off before the finale. We recorded one recently about Chaz, and recently uploaded one about Zane and Cyrus. It's a great show. I'm loving it. And of course you can visit my Twitter at Bigger Challenge, and at Xbox_holiday, where Usher celebrates holidays with Xbox. And recently, Happy Indigenous Peoples Day, Xbox.
Fuck you, Christopher Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm actually half Ojibwe, so that is very important to me. Fuck Christopher Columbus.
Yeah.
Rot in hell.
Well, considering how he apparently died, it was only the start, so...
Yeah, fucking good riddance. And I'm Max. You can find me on Twitter at MaxieBajillion. As Dan mentioned, I'm on Pod Agreed with them. This is my other show, and you can listen to Slappers Only, which is on Slappers Only Pod on Twitter. I got sick last weekend, so we couldn't record that, but it's going to come soon. Don't worry. I know I always say that every fucking week since April. maybe this week will be true. Who knows? You can go to noisebites.xyz to find this show and many, many more. You can go to Twitter at WowCoolPodcast to find this show specifically. There's Discord links in every episode description as well as our Twitter header. Come hang out with us and post your gunpla. I want to see them. And I guess that's kind of it. Yeah, that's it. So, as we always say to close the episode,
buy our toys.
Wow.
Cool robots.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.